Welcome! And in the last minimap video, that it was the first, but I'll keep referring it to the last. What we did was create the functionality, the behavior, and it works. Everything works pretty nice, pretty clean, but not clean enough in terms of a modular implementation. And in the case that we want to make this a modular feature that we can later reuse in other games or in other projects, or we want to turn on and turn off with the modular gameplay features, that plugin that is really useful and we have talked about in other videos, then it's really not ready. It serves us as a great starting point for the functionality to test it, to see if it works, but now we should clean it up and make it a little more easier to use, right? If I was developing this as a marketplace package, then this would not be an ideal setup. So first, my folders, I'm gonna set it up as if they were a marketplace asset, right? So I'm gonna I use this setup if I'm gonna develop a game, but if I'm gonna develop a marketplace asset, then I'm gonna create a blueprints asset, blueprints folder, sorry. And here I'm gonna put every blueprint that has to do with this feature. So let's blueprint class. I only have one blueprint. Well, that's nice. I'm gonna put it on blueprints and move it there. Good. I'm gonna also create a folder called textures. And here I'm gonna select minimap, filters and textures here also. Materials and texture, where is it? Here it is. Texture. And I have my arrow texture. And I'm gonna do that for every other asset. I'm gonna fast forward so you don't have to sit around for that. Now that I have changed everything, I'm gonna right click on my main folder and I'm gonna fix up the redirectors. And all the folders that didn't have anything in it, they're going to be removed. Let's check if something has broke. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have broke anything. Great. Now, what I wanted to change is the way I'm using the minimap, because we are setting up directly on the character, and we need to add this component, these three components, in order for it to work. So what I'm gonna do is develop the components apart from this character, so I can add those components later here. So for example, here I need a component If I wanted other type of icons, I could create a blueprint for that, and uh, it it is not necessary for it to always have a scene capture, because maybe enemies could have the same arrow. So I'm gonna create two components, one for the plane and one for this the camera, right? So the first one is the minimap player camera component. So let's create a blueprint. Let's actor component, that's the one I'm looking for. Let's call it blueprint widget, no, minimap camera. And what this component is gonna do is gonna create a blueprint that will have these two other components. So here's the minimap camera component, and this is the blueprint class, an actor component, blueprint minimap camera. Great. Now, what does my blueprint needs to have? Well, these two components that I already created and I already have set it up. So I'm gonna press Ctrl C and I'm gonna press Ctrl V to paste them here. And they should be with the same settings that I already tweaked here. It even should have my render target. Great. So now I can delete this like this. Perfect. Compile, save it. If I press play, I won't see anything because there isn't a camera showing me anything. But if we wanted to use this blueprint, we just need to, here in my component, the begin play, I'm gonna create the blueprint. Create actor from class. Here I'm gonna set it up as my minimap camera. The transform should be 0. So let's split it. The owner should be the owner of this component. So get owner. That's good. And now let's attach it to the owner. Attach to actor. Actor to actor. The target is this one, and the parent actor, I'm gonna put it like this. The parent actor is the owner. Great. Snap to target, rotation, keep world, scale rule, keep world. Now, what will we do now? We have created the component, excuse me, we have created the actor that has the camera, and we have attached it. Just for completeness sake, we're gonna here add end play, event end play, and I'm gonna save this as a variable. And I'm gonna call it minimap camera reference. Great. And in the event end play, I'm gonna delete it. Destroy it. Destroy actor. As simple as that. Just in case this component gets destroyed before my character, and this is my way of cleaning things up. Right. I don't need to do that because this component, if it's ending the play, then it will destroy my variable automatically. So let's save it, compile it, let's play. It won't show anything, but in my third person character, if I manage to add my component, my minimap camera component, here it is. I don't need to set up anything. I'm gonna press play, and now I can see it. The thing about this is that I'm not able to see the plane, and that's because the owner no see, maybe? Should be because of that. Play. And I still can't see it. Now that's weird. Oh. Something that I didn't take in account was this spring arm should not be doing a collision test because I wanted to be always on top. All right, now I can see my plane because, well, we are not collisioned with it, so I can use this as always, right? This should be like this, like without a collision test. We could also have fixed it by disabling the collision on this plane. Also, this plane shouldn't have a collision, so let's get rid of that right now. No collision. And now we have a component that we can activate and deactivate, and it should be fine for us, right? So now the other stuff that I wanted to create was this plane. I don't want it to be here on inside my character. I want to have a lot of control. So if whenever I want to create another character, I do not need to copy and paste a lot of components like I did for my camera. That, well, they were two, but let's say that we created a more complex behavior, then it would need a lot of refactoring. But in this case, it's only a plane, so I'm gonna create another component here, actor component, and I'm gonna call it blueprint minimap icon component. Good. Now let's save it, let's open it, and this component just need to create a plane and assign a material to it. Pretty simple stuff. So what we need to do is, let's this is a static mesh component that is using a plane, so let's do the same thing. Let's add an static mesh component. Well, now you just need to call add component by class. Gonna remove the tick. Oh, and it's important in the class settings, excuse me, the class default, if you're not using the tick, then just uncheck it. The same for the minimap camera. I'm not using the tick here, so let's just uncheck it. Minimap camera component, not using the tick, uncheck the tick. Third person character, I believe it's also not using the tick, so we do not need the tick at all. And let's save everything. Right. So now on my minimap icon component, let's add an static mesh component. The relative transform, let's leave it like this for now. And I'm gonna promote it to a variable, static mesh ref component ref. If I press compile, it won't let me because this is not an actor. So I need to get owner here, and the owner is an actor. So now it should let me. Oh, the target is, yeah, not that one, but this one. Components get owner, that one. That's what I was looking for. Now, what I need to do here is, well, let's clean it up as we did and play. And I'm gonna remove this component, destroy component. Good. And now compile, save it. I need to set up my static mesh component ref. First, we need to tell it to use the plane, right? Set static mesh. So here I'm gonna select the plane that I'm not finding. If you're gonna use an asset that is in the starter content, or well, in the editor, then let's browse it. We will find it here and copy it to your folder, just in case whenever you package this, if you check the don't use the editor content, you don't run into problems of missing assets. So let's copy the plane. Let's create first a folder here called new folder, and let's call it static mesh. Oh, well, just meshes is fine, meshes. Now let's find the plane again and copy them to meshes. Copy here. Do not move that. It may show some errors if you do it. And if you don't want to see all the editors here, you can go to settings and uncheck engine content. Now you're clean again. So let's use the plane here. Gonna rename it because marketplace assets are really picky like that. You need to rename every asset to follow the conventions, like static mesh underscore that. And also it is a good practice. So I'm really, even though I'm kind of complaining, it's okay, it's manageable. So now we're using the plane. We need to set up the texture, right? Where is my third person character here? Plane, texture, the material, and let's do the same. Set material. And here, this material, I'm gonna make it as a variable. Material, icon material, I'm gonna call it. And by default, I'm gonna select my arrow. What this will do, and I'm gonna open the eye that is instance editable. That's good. What this will do is it will give us the option that whenever we want to use the plane, we can delete it now. We will add the icon minimap component. We can change the material, and that's pretty good. Play. Now we need to fix the rotation. And the way we could do that, we could just let's recombine and let's make the transform a variable. Promote to variable, spawn transform, and I'm gonna make it also a instance editable variable. And I don't know where my material went. Oh, this is the camera. This is the camera. This is the wrong place. But minimum, I'm gonna close the camera because I'm already done with that. Let's save it. Grouping this also. Here, I'm gonna recombine variable, and now let's call it spawn transform. Now, instance editable, save it, compile it, and here in my minimap, I can change the arrow. I don't want to see this. Maybe I could make it private. compile, save. Yeah, and that did hide it. That's excellent. Icon material, I could change it to anything I wanted. Maybe male body, I don't know. There it is. And where is it? Let me return to the arrow. The rotation, I'm gonna change it to -90. Play. And that was the wrong rotation. Minus, oh, just 90 is fine. Play. We have it. We have it there. We don't want to see it. Let's be sure also here to do not cast shadows. So let's type cast shadow. Set cast shadow false. That's fine. Play. Yeah, it's not casting shadows already. And if we don't want to see it, we could. Oh, what's that? The camera? Did I change the material in the camera? Let's not get to sidetrack. If I wanted to not see it, I could elevate it. For example, let's put it on 1000. Oh, but now my camera won't see it. Right. Or I could also leave it on 0. Have it like this, and put them again in the owner no see category. Set owner no see. And set it to true. The owner should still be the owner, the blueprint. So now I won't see it, and there it is. Great. Now this would mean that we can actually add it to other objects. For example, this cube. Details, gonna add my, where is it? Add minimap icon. And let's press play. And it's not showing up, then I need to bump it up to the top here. Minimap icon, let's put it on 500 maybe. Play. Now can we see it? Well, that's weird. Let me check what happened. So I've been looking around how to solve this problem. And there is a way using C++ where we can add to hidden actors that a camera can decide not to see, but I, for the life of me, cannot find it here on Blueprints. I show it before. The scene capture does have it. Scene capture, I can access the hidden actors list or array, and this array, whenever I put something in it, then it starts being ignored. But my follow camera, my normal camera, that is this one, well, this one really, follow camera, does not give me access to that. So the way I'm gonna solve it is using the set owner no see. Well, not exactly that, because this solve it for me, but if I'm not the owner, I'm gonna be able to see it, and I don't want that. And also, if if we didn't see the minimap icon before, it was too high. It was in 500. That's why I didn't see it. But if I press apostrophe and tab, then there it is. It was just too high. So what I did is just pull it back to 100. And now I can see it, and it is easy to see. But my gameplay camera should not be able to see it. So the way I'm gonna solve this is going back to my minimap icon component, and here, instead of setting the owner no see, I'm gonna set it up as set only owner see, and I'm gonna press check here, and I need to connect this like this. Now what this does is that only my owner will be able to see that. So you can see already that my minimap stopped working, right? Because the owner of this icon is my blueprint. And that's what I'm gonna change. And I'm not gonna like the way I'm gonna change it, but I do believe there is not other way to do this in blueprint. We could also get all actors of class, but let's do it like this. Here I'm gonna check the manual attachment. The owner will not be this actor. The owner will be my blueprint, my minimap. Where is this? My minimap camera blueprint. This is going to be my owner. Now, how can I get that owner to construct all of this? Well, I'm gonna get my player character. Oh, let's just get my player pawn. Get player pawn. And here, let's get component of class. And I'm gonna get my minimap camera component. This is the one I need. This minimap camera component has my blueprint, my reference. So let's get it, get minimap camera ref, and this will be my new owner. Now, let's delete this. Yeah, let's delete it. This is something like that, like this. And I'm gonna put this like this. Now, I have put it as manual attachment because I want to create, I want to attach it to the owner, well, to this component owner. So here I'm gonna attach to the attachment. So this static mesh component reference will be attached to actor, or well, to component. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. I'm gonna attach it to itself, because this component, this minimap icon character, is already on the character. So it's okay. It's not okay. I need a sync component reference. No worries, no worries. What I can do then is get owner of this component that will be my third person character, or the box, and I'm gonna get the root component. Every single actor has a root component, so let's use it. Gonna do something like this. Keep word, well, snap to target, keep word, keep relative, keep word. Okay, that's fine for now. This should be working like this. Now, let's see. Play. Oh boy, what have I done now? I need to remove the collision of this plane. That much I should do. Set collision to no collision. Now, yeah, that should be fine. I have some errors here. What does it say? Access non-static mesh reference. Oh, right. Was I unable to create it? Maybe? Static mesh, the target. If this doesn't exist, then this won't work at all. None. Yeah, it doesn't exist yet, so I'm in trouble, right? So, how could we solve this? We could have add a delay here. And that could be a quick fix. Now we have the reference that we need. Let's see if this works. For now, it's not working, so only owner C. And why am I not able to see with my camera? Let's see what happens in my viewport. Here, let's shift F1 and see here some here it is, the blueprint minimap camera. This should have like the icons on top, well, created on it, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Let's check something here. Let's remove this on the owner C, play, and we should be able to see everything. This didn't even create it. Why did it? There was an error here. Is pending kill minimap icon component. Destroy component. What? Why? Play. Now this is really tripping me up. So maybe this way is not the way that I can solve this. I have added this debug text, and yeah, it shows up that the owner is the one that where is being created, but this is not gonna work like I wanted to. I wanted the blueprint minimap camera to be the owner of everything, so I could just turn on only owner C and I could be done with it, right? But doesn't seem to be the case. So I will need to add this component and all this other stuff. Where can I add this? Well, we could add it in my, let's do something like this. In the blueprint minimap camera, which I'm really not too fond of doing, but I don't think I will have a lot of options here. And that would mean that every actor that adds something will rely on my blueprint minimap camera to add a component there. So let's try it at least. Let's create a custom event, static mesh component. Add new icon. And this could be really easy to solve in C++. Oh man. Let's not care too much for this. The manual attachment, let's not care too much for any of this. The target will be self, that's okay. Static mesh, let's create a variable here, and everything else should be fine, hopefully. Now we need to call this add new icon, and we could send it the relative transform and the new parent, right? And let's change the order of this. There it is. Let's compile, save it. Let's go to this one, and let's just yeah, let's still do the delay because otherwise it won't be created. Minimap, gonna add a new icon, add new icon, and I'm gonna send it. The parent will need to be a sync component, get owner. I'm gonna copy and paste this because it's the same thing. The relative transform will be this one, and if it works, I also need to pass the material, but let's just see first if it works. Play. Of course there will be errors. What's happening here? Icon material. Let's just select the arrow material, play it, and I still get the same. Well, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I do not want to do this. What I want to do is the same text here in my camera. Static mesh component. This is overwriting the component. Then I could just need to add support for everything else, but let's enable the tick. Let's put this here and just get owner. I need to get the owner of this static mesh component reference, get owner. And hopefully whenever we attach the component, it shouldn't be changing my owner, hopefully, but I'm not really sure, so let's try it. Minimap camera, nice. So what's happening here now? Why can I see the component? Only owner see. Let's put it true. Oh man, I thought that was it. Oh man, Casillado only owner C. Why? Why? If I remove this, oh, there's two. There's two of them. Now that's unexpected. Why is there? Let me remove this component here. My box, minimap icon. Let's just remove the component, just delete it. Let's press play. There should only be one, right? And the owner is not able to see it. Great. I managed to fuck it up. So after some debugging, this owner only C should have worked because now the owner is the minimap, but it was working the other way around for some reason. So I used the set owner no C here, like this. And now it works on my minimap and it works here. Now, oh man, let's fix all this mess, right? Every time I need to add a new icon, I just want to add to a pool of icons. So here, instead of setting a variable, what I'm gonna do is just add it to a list of components. So let me duplicate this component reference. I'm gonna call it list. This one will be an array. Nice. I'm gonna add to this array. I'm gonna add it like this. And instead of using this, for now, I'm just gonna put all the pins there. Right now, it's gonna be a mess. There's no way around it for now. What's this gonna? Can't parse the value for none. For none. Compare. No, that's fine. Okay, let's play. Now it should work. Let's not mind the errors for now. We can fix them. Let's add my map, my minimap icon component. Play. Should show up. Doesn't show up. No worries. I need to change the spawn transform. Set it to 100. Play it. Come on. No, it doesn't show up either. And what could possibly happen there? Come on. My icon, where is it? My icon component. This just needs to add something. The material doesn't matter yet because it's not working properly yet. And well, this is gonna cause me troubles for now. So let's disable it. Play it. Nothing. Let's put a breakpoint here. Play. Minimap in cube. All right, cube. Does this exist? It does exist. Then the cube will create. The parent is none. That's not right. This is also not right. Come on, is this update? Yeah, static mesh component. And the translation is 100 in C. That's fine. Then let's add it to the pool. Attach it. Set the mesh as plane, arrow, new cast, set owner no C, and no collision. Now it should run again, right? On the minimap icon component, third person character. All right, then let's see if this works. Doesn't seem to. This should have now 2 of them. Yeah, that's correct. And yeah, it should be working fine. As always, it should be working fine. But something has happened. And I need to see what happened. It's time to debug again. So from what I'm debugging, my location is not changing of the components that I'm creating. So what I need to do is make sure that the location that I'm passing to my to my camera is the correct one. So this is my minimap icon. Clearly this spawn transform is not the correct one. What I need to do is pass the actual transform, I believe. Relative transform, or this snap to target maybe the problem. Keep relative, I'm gonna put it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. That was the problem. Well, at least I managed to find it. So let's try again, because I have been scratching my head and I'm pretty done with the minimap for now. But so let's clean it and let's close it in a good way, because I know you guys won't understand, or even I don't want to understand any of this, right? So what I want to do first is test that everything works correctly, and then we can clean it up, because I deleted the minimap icon here. Compile it, save it, play. Now I have my icons. Now I can delete my debug. I'm gonna just undo and remove that wire. And here I just need to connect the owner nosy. Now it's working properly. Let's put properly in keep relative. Come on. Oh, I needed to, well, wait a minute. I need to fix that, the rotation, right? Here the rotation was 90. Play. And now, yeah, now it's fine. Now let's put the owner nosy. That I'm still baffled, because it is working like the opposite of what I expected to be, and the main problem was that I thought that I needed to use the set only owner, C, but I needed to set up the set owner no C. So now I don't have to rely on anything, and again, this could have been solved very easily in C++, but I put my limit, well, my foot down, and I said I'm only gonna use blueprints for this tutorial. So now it's working as I want it to work. If I remove this, then it's not gonna work. Well, it still works, but I'm able to see stuff that I don't need to see. So let's clean it up. Let's really clean it up. Icon material, I do need an icon material, so I'm gonna pass it here. Add new icon material. Compile it, save it. I need to give an icon material here. Let's use that also. Nice. So what my minimap icon component just need to do is tell my minimap camera to add a new icon, and the camera will be in charge of holding all the icons. Hopefully we can later make something to clean that, because 100 plus components, it's not gonna be fun to have in only a blueprint. Let's clean this minimap camera. I don't need any of this tick code. I can also again remove the start with tick enable, because I don't need to debug anything more. So what happens when I add a new icon? First, I don't want to use a custom event. Why? Because I want everything here to run on the same frame I call it, and also I want it to return the reference of the new static mesh component, right? So what I'm gonna do is create a function here in my minimap camera. My function will be called add new minimap icon. And this will be a long video because of all the errors that I found along the way. This new minimap icon, what I need is everything that I needed here in my add new icon. I'm just gonna call the add new icon here, just so we can use the same inputs easily and I do not have to add them again. Now we can delete it. Now we need to copy all the code. We're gonna copy this code like this. And another good reason of why I want to have this as a function is because now if I need to call the parent, I can just get parent and it will get my pin, and I'm gonna call it parent ref, just so this doesn't exist anymore. Get parent ref, just so we can avoid as many misunderstandings as we can. Right, so this is the index of my new component that has been created, and it sounds like a good idea to send back the index so we can delete it later if we need it to, right? So how could we clean everything from here? Let's do something like this. Let's create a sequence. And all the setup that I will do will be done first. So let's drag this, call a reroute node, and have something like this. So it's a lot cleaner. I do not need this anymore. I need to attach the component, and this is the part where you can copy and paste the code. And I will definitely share this project so it's easier to understand. So I need to attach the component, keep relative location so I don't override the location. Could be keep relative, could be keep world, should work fine in both cases. Yeah, it worked fine in both cases. So you can, I will keep it in world. Set the static mesh to the plane. Set the material. We need the new asset, the icon material. Get icon material. Here it is. Set cast shadows. I do not want shadows from the plane. Set the owner no see, even though that I believe that it's not the right one, but I cannot argue with the results. And now, yeah, we have set up everything correctly. Hopefully it's understandable. And at last, we add it to my list of static mesh components that we will create along the way. And I want this function to return the index of this component. Why? And I'm gonna call it component index. The why it's because whenever I want to use this, and I'm missing this one. Now it's work. Now it should be exactly the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. I want this index because here in my minimap, instead of using the custom event, I'm gonna use my add new minimap icon. Instead of having a reference to the static mesh component, I just want to save the index of this component. Component index, that's a good name. So whenever, instead of destroying it like this, I'm gonna have to call my pawn, ask for the minimap camera, and ask for the reference. And here I can create a new, let's call it remove minimap icon, and I just need an index to remove. Now here I just remove index, and that's it. This is deleting the object and removing it from my is this deleting my object? I don't believe so. So let's get actor list from component list. Now let's get a copy. Oh, but if it's a copy, then even if I destroy it, I'm destroying the copy. So yeah, no, this will remove the index because the static mesh won't be referenced by anything, and we will test this also. Because it shouldn't be referenced by anything else, it should be deleted eventually. If it doesn't work, then we can force the deletion. So remove icon. How did I call that? Remove minimap icon. I needed to compile. Remove minimap icon. Now let's pass the component index. This component index should be private. I do not want anything other than this component to modify it. I can remove the dict. I can remove all this code that I do not need anymore. I only need this part. Now it's really clean and really simple to understand. We do a delay to ensure the minimap exists. We need to pass the icon material. We have an icon material here. We need to pass a relative transform, spawn transform here. We need to pass the parent, and the parent was the root. I deleted it. Get owner and get root component. Nice. Nothing like having foresight that could have saved a lot of time. So this, I'm not too fond on how it's looking like, so I'm gonna put it to the side like this. Root component, spawn transform, this like this is fine. Compile it, save it, minimap. I want to test this remove stuff. I can delete my blueprint spaghetti there because right now it's here, like looking pretty good. Let's compile, save it, let's play. It's still working. Oh man, why did it stop working? The parent may be wrong. Oh no. Get owner, root component, parent reference. No, what did I do wrong now? The attachment is wrong. Let's see. Play. Mini map school. Root component static mesh. Spawn transform. Icon material. I'm creating the static mesh component. I'm parent ref. Target. Keep world. Okay. Keep relative. Didn't work. Now it's working. Yeah, now it's working. Let's keep it relative. Keep it relative, guys and girls. Yeah. So I'm still getting some errors. I'm gonna check why so we can clean it up. But we have managed to get this working. And let's save it all. What this would mean is that if I play it in the selected, I could also, in the selected viewport, detach, select my cone. Oh, and I can't add components. But I'm only getting errors whenever I try to delete stuff. Like here. Right? I'm getting errors there. Nope, didn't get errors there. Where are the errors? Dismiss, dismiss, dismiss. Stop. Show. So, access none. Trying to read property. Get player pound return value 1. Oh, I didn't find the player pound. Minimap icon component. Let's see if it's this one. If it is, then I just need to check if it's valid. And I should get rid of any errors. And if it's not valid, then I shouldn't be worrying too much about deleting everything. Play, stop, no errors. So that was it. It seems that the only way that I'm gonna be able to test the end play is if I make this minimap into a game feature, into a modular game feature, which was the plan. So be sure to tune in to that video that hopefully should be a lot smaller than this one. But look in the description. I will put the project there, so it is easier to look around the stuff. And if you just want to use it and tinker around it and you don't want to hear me talk about how we did it, then yeah, feel free to use the minimap as you like. No worries there. Let's just try to see really if it's working. The minimap icon, let's change it to female body. Play it. Yeah, I can see it on my map. And I can tweak it to 100. And now it's on top of my asset. So pretty nice, right? Pretty nice. In next videos, if we manage to get attention for the minimap, maybe this minimap dies here, I do not know. We could create a zoom in feature, zoom out feature. Should be really easy. And again, you can give us some feedback of what could we add to the minimap. So with that, hopefully this video was useful to you. We definitely learned how to debug. And see you next time. Oh, and leave a like and subscribe and yeah. See you next time. Oh man.